Hi, we're Laura and Dan. We've bought a beautiful rustic Portuguese barn and have literally zero knowledge of building and farming, but plan on converting it into a beautiful off-grid homestead. Follow us on our journey. So I'm just taking things slowly this morning like I normally like to do. Got a cup of olive leaf tea, so we dried out some olive leaves from our olive tree prunings and then we decided to try making them into a tea for the first time. I've heard that it's got quite a lot of health benefits, so it's good to try, and it tastes really nice as well. So we're just taking things slowly this morning. Obviously we're still at the beginning of our homesteading journey, so we don't yet have chickens or bees or goats or anything to help us cut the grass or anything like that, and we're still kind of relying on a supermarket for things, which I'm grateful for. But yeah, today's going to be one of those days where we're just pottering on with odd jobs that we normally do when we live here on the land. So one of the jobs that we've got to do today is empty out the compost. It's a job that we'll have to do about once a month, and me and Dan normally play rock, paper, scissors to see who has to do it. I still haven't lost rock, paper, scissors yet, so it's always been Dan, so hopefully I keep my winning streak and I get to just observe him empty out the poop bucket. Just go, right, so we're going to go rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
So rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay, ready?
Ready?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Ah, loser.
You always win, it's not fair.
I know. One day I'll empty out the compost pile, but it's just not going to be today.
I've got the unfortunate job of the poop walk now.
The walk of shame. Don't make us feel sorry for you. Get in there, son. After Dan successfully cleaned out the poop bucket, it was time to move on to some other jobs. For me, what I really love about living on the land and starting a homestead is that it's hard work, but it's work that's for yourself, and it's putting effort into your future home and for your family as well. So it's like you're building your own heritage, which is, it sounds quite deep and stuff, but that's how I see it, and it's something that I find very fulfilling. So this is a grapevine that I've already done. I've done quite a harsh prune because they were really overgrown. And I've watched how the farmer's done his because he's done his quite recently. And so I've been kind of carefully trying to mimic what he's done with his. So I've cut off all the side ones that were coming off the main vine and just left the ones that have got little stalks so they can still grow. But from what I know, I'm not an expert on this, so don't take this as gospel, but when you give them a harsh prune, it directs more of the energy up this single trunk. I don't know what that's called. And so the grapes will end up being bigger and more energy gets put into making those grapes. So that's why you do a harsh prune. But don't take my word as gospel, I'm just learning. So the next job that we've got planned is to prune some of these olive trees. This is quite a big job. We've got over 70 olive trees on the land and it takes quite a while per tree. So we've already done a lot of the olive trees at the back section. We've done some at the top terrace, but this mid terrace is where the majority of the olive trees are. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go and take some of the suckers off the trees, prune them down a little bit and just do what we can. And if we don't get them all done this year, we'll know that we've done a good section, so we'll know which section to do next year.
Take your eye out some of them bad boys.
Yeah, they're dangerous. We wanted to treat ourselves to some homemade pancakes. Dan said that he deserved it after cleaning out the poop bucket for the 10th time. I started out by adding water to the spelt flour, then mixed it until the consistency was wet.
Acting like a wild man, sleeping like a child. You're so luminous and vibrant. I'm always in bloom for you. Always in bloom. Always in bloom for you. Times I'm stranded, a castaway on unknown shore, although a stranger in this continent. I'm always in bloom for you. Always in bloom. Always in bloom for you.
As you've seen previously, we set up the water points onto the land, so now we've got running water from the well. Now what we want to do is we've bought this hose pipe, so we're going to connect the hose pipe to the top water point, so we can fill up the IBC, we can fill up the van, we can fill anything else we need to fill up here, and we've also can maybe water some trees, get some irrigation going. But yeah, so we've got a big hose pipe for a big job. And just like that, we've got ourselves a bloody hose.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Mommy. Hi, Katie. You are pregnant. Look at that big fat belly. You've got little puppies inside of there. You've got a big fat belly with big teats. Big milkers.
You're not the only one with big teeth, that's me.
If I keep eating the pastel de natas, I'll have big teeth. Hello. Hello. Hello, girlie. Hello. Oh, are you pregnant? Are you big and pregnant? Are you? You look like you're pregnant, don't you? We definitely want one of your pups. We want one of your puppies. Can I have one of your puppies? now that we've connected the two pipes together, we're just going to go put the generator on and see how they flow. So I've just turned it on, we can hear the water starting. Oh, it's arrived.
Nice. Perfect timing.
So we're just filling up the IBC. What we're doing is we're just getting it topped up before the summer comes and there's no rainfall, so best to get it nice and full while we can now when we've got good water going at the well. So while the IBC is filling up, it fills up quite quick, the flow's quite quick, but it's 1,000 litres that we need, so it does take a little bit of a while to fill up. What we're going to do is we're going to go crack on with some of the jobs while we're waiting for it. So what we're up to now?
So what we're up to now is we're going to try our luck at planting a tree. So our friends have given us this fig tree from their land, which they was growing a part of their other tree that they need to take away. And we've been told a little rumour that that if you put a big point in this and you plant it in the ground, it'll grow eventually into a beautiful big fig tree. So that's what we're hoping, that in the future we've got plenty of figs, because we love figs.
Yeah, so good on it. After trying to figure it out, no pun intended, we found a nice place to put it. So what we've been told is that you just need to cut a point into the end and just stick it in the ground and it'll grow into a separate tree. So let's see if it works.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed it works like that anyway.
We've now planted our first tree on the land and we're happy with it. She's in now, she's sturdy, so let's see how she lasts. But yeah, super happy to have our first tree planted on the land.
So I was just walking up the land there to check the different pipe connections, make sure they're all set overnight. And me and the farmer have this really funny thing. Every time we see each other in the morning, I always do this to him. I lift my hat off and he lifts his hat off, which is really funny. So that's our little signature that me and my Portuguese granddad do every time we see each other. And Laura's just walked up the land and says, "Do you do the hat thing with the farmer again?" I was like, yes.
So that's the IBC now nice and full. It's good to have a nice full 1,000 litres of water storage ready for the summer, because from what we experienced last summer, there wasn't a drop of rainfall for about 2 months. So we definitely need this water for when the summer comes. So what I'm doing is, we've got a lot of these vine prunings on the land and they make excellent kindling. So what I'm doing is I'm just putting them into smaller chunks and then just the size of a handful, just so we can use them as fire starters in the future. So here's what we've been doing with the piles. Obviously I'll be tying them around with string just so they're nice and manageable, just to pop on each fire that we'll make. So I found that these little bundles of the vine pruning kindling is just really good for the fires. Obviously in the future we're going to be building up a fire storage, so we'll have all different kinds of wood in there for our fires all year round, but we're making a good start with our little piles of kindling. So what we've been doing is we've been collecting these jars for a while. We brought these over from the UK. And I was on the internet the other day and I saw a cleaning recipe, if that's what you call it, for an orange peel cleaner. So it's just orange peels and white vinegar. So I'm going to give that a go with these jars. So this morning we had freshly squeezed orange juice for breakfast, and I've got the peels here and I've got my mason jars and my white vinegar. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to be a little bit more conscious of the chemicals that we put into our bodies, the chemicals we put into the land. So this is just me moving one step closer to being more holistic. Everything's always a learning curve, but I'm going to give this a go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be putting the oranges into here, filling it up with white vinegar, and then you leave it for 2 weeks and then you have yourself an orange peel cleaner. So I've got my 2 jars done now, It says to store them for at least 2 weeks, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go store them in the barn and then we'll see when they're ready.
So you guys out there have already seen Sheila. This is Dexter. And Dexter really gets to work and gets in the places where Sheila can't get to. So, actually, true story, Dexter was a serial killer. So maybe that's why this company called this one Dexter. But anyway, Dexter's going to get to work today. And he's going to go around and strengthen some of these fence poles. Because last time around in the summer, I couldn't get them in properly in the ground. So now it's time to put Dexter to work.
We have so much land clearance to still work through. As the day came to an end and the night started to creep in, it was good to reflect upon the last few months. We don't know what the future holds for us or what path awaits us ahead. We just know we have to open ourselves up and surrender and remain humble to God's plan. Life can sometimes be a rough ride and we can be faced with many moments of sadness, despair and fear. But the key in these moments is to stay connected to something higher than yourself. It's important to give ourselves space to reflect, process and cry. The power and nature of this place speaks for itself. Everyday emotions circle back around for us to feel into so that they can be released and healed. We're not sure whether we're going to be able to settle on this land, but we're still going to be moving forward in the right direction every day. Sometimes we have to walk the path less travelled in order to get to the place we want to be. No matter what obstacles, projections and fear we face along the way, it's important to stay true to ourselves.